there, fellow travelers, or safari travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're at the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania. And when people come to the Serengeti, they think, I'm going to see the big five. And when we think of the big five, you think, what are the five most important, most famous animals from Africa? We're like, oh yes, of course, there's the elephant and the lion, and maybe there's the cheetah and the gazelles, because I see those on TV, and the zebras and the giraffes and the crocodiles. So that's actually seven, not five. What are the big five? And the thing is, when you come here, you realize the big five aren't necessarily the five most famous animals to see in Africa. What the big five actually are, those are the five toughest animals to hunt in Africa back in the day. Now they're the five most popular, sought after kind of hunting with your camera animals out there. And we actually think about the big five, the real big five, yes, the lion and elephant, yes, those are part of the big five. And then sometimes there's things you don't think of, like the Cape buffalo. There's actually one, you'll probably see one wandering around back there somewhere. You have that. Also, there's the leopard, and then there's the black rhino, the fifth one, and that's actually the most endangered of the big five. And the thing is you're not always going to see all five of them. It actually is pretty tough. So what I'll kind of give you is some advice and some information on those big five to help you hopefully see them, and so you know what to kind of expect when you do go on a safari here in the Serengeti and in Tanzania in general, because you kind of need to go more than the Serengeti if you want to see all five, okay? Now, the first three are actually you're pretty much guaranteed to see those if you come here into the Serengeti. One, elephants. You'll see elephants on your drive here. You'll see them around. I mean, you probably won't see them wandering through here, but you do bump into them because they're so big, and the guides all talk to each other, so you'll see those. And they're amazing. When you're in your Jeep and they pop the top of the Jeep up and you're just standing there and they walk by, you're like, oh my goodness, they are just huge and they're just so impressive. And it's such a great feeling when you do see them. So that's one. Okay, now, if we look at what hunters hunted for them, they were hunting for the ivory tusk, and they would use the ivory to make things, okay? So that was the first one. That's why it was hunted. Next thing you'll see quite a bit of is actually the buffalo, or the Cape buffalo, I should say. And you might see one wandering around out there. Well, you'll probably see some wildebeest and zebras out there, but you might see a buffalo going by, because we have buffalo tracks all around here, or Cape buffalo tracks all around here where we're staying. And so you have that, and that was actually hunted for its meat, for bush meat. And the thing is, when you see it, you think buffalo, like, why is that one such a big deal? Well, it's because it was actually hunted for the meat. That's why it was so kind of sought after. So that was another thing. And you don't see a ton of them, but you do see them, okay? And then you have the lion. And the lion is probably the one, when you see that, when you're like, yes, we saw a lion, we saw the king of beasts. And you might see them with their cubs going around. You're probably going to see more lionesses than lions with their manes and stuff like that, but it is really cool to see. And there are a lot of them here in the Serengeti Park, especially in the central part. And that's what's really nice to see. Those three ones, pretty much, I'm not going to say you're guaranteed, but those are the three easiest ones to see when you're in the Serengeti, okay? Now the next two, the leopard and the black rhino, those are the toughest ones to see. The leopard, well, there's not a ton of them, but also they hide very well. They might be perched on the rocks when you're going by, or they might be hidden in trees, so you just don't see them. And a lot of tourists, when they come through here on their guided tours, don't always see them, which is sad. So they say, look, we need to stay another day. I need to see that leopard, okay? So that's a tough one just because it's really tough to find. But then there's one, the black rhino, that one's really tough to find because, one, it's super endangered, so that's a really tough problem. And also, there's not too many of them here in the Serengeti. What you might want to do is do a day trip and go to the Ngorongoro conservation area, the Ngorongoro Crater Conservation Area. It was an old volcano. There's almost the size of Kilimanjaro that blew its top. And so there's this perfect, just beautiful canyon there, or crater there, I should say. And you can go there, and that's where you're going to have a better chance of seeing the rhinos. So you have that. And that's why I want to tell you is there's more than just, one place where you can see a lot of these things. You can go to Kenya to see some of the big five. You can go to other parts of Tanzania. It's really kind of a great experience to see all these things. But I just wanted to know what those, big five were. So when you came here, you're not like, we're going to see the cheetah and gazelle. So like, yeah, but that's not the big five. Oh, also, if you see a cheetah, that's actually kind of a special thing because they're hard to see as well because they kind of get lost in the grass sometimes. So it is kind of an interesting thing. And we were lucky enough to see multiple cheetahs and their babies. Oh my God, it was so cute. So you do have that. So I hope that helps you get a little bit more excited for your safari here in Tanzania and the Serengeti. If you want to learn more, maybe what you should pack if you're going to be coming to the Serengeti or on a safari, or maybe some of the don'ts of going on a safari, or just the basics of what you should know before you go on a safari, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions. We hope you have a great time going on a safari or traveling wherever you're going to be in the world, and we hope we can help you out. Anyway, I'll say bye from here in the Serengeti.